Ambassador Bolton, thank you very much for speaking with ANI, sir. So it has been almost 2 weeks since India hit terror infrastructures in Pakistan and Pakistan infrastructures on occupied Kashmir. Tell us about your assessment of Operation Sindoor and India's success in destroying Islamabad centers of terror.
Well, I think India was certainly entitled to act in self-defense against locations inside Pakistan that where the terrorist attack was planned and carried out from. And it's obviously a significant issue when a country either can't control that kind of terrorist activity going on its territory or indeed may be contributing to it. So India's action, I think, was entirely justifiable. But it does raise the question whether there's any possibility of persuading the Pakistani government that this is not ultimately in their interest and could lead to much worse consequences for them if they don't get it under control. I know this is a long-standing issue, but the escalation in the military response and the back and forth between India and Pakistan before the ceasefire was agreed to was certainly a significant cut above what happened in 2019, 6 years ago, when there was a similar terrorist attack in Kashmir. And I think the other lesson to carry away from this is the fact that Chinese military planes were supplied to Pakistan, were prominent in Pakistan's response. And I think that signifies the growing Chinese influence inside Pakistan, particularly in the military, which increases the threat to India, certainly on its western flank, but I think should trouble all of us as an indication of China's efforts to assert greater and greater influence over Pakistan in the future.
Ambassador Bolton, you are somebody who has worked with the Trump administration very closely, and you know how Trump has been making claims for ceasefire between India and Pakistan, which of course India has denied several times now. How do you see Trump's claim, and what is your assessment of the reason behind his claims?
Well, I can say this, it's nothing personal to India. This is Donald Trump who takes credit for everything. I think he did have a call with Prime Minister Modi. I think Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio were on the phone. I'm sure many other countries were calling to see what they might be able to do. And it's typical Trump that he would jump in before everybody else and take credit. So it may be irritating, probably is irritating to many people, but it's nothing that's intended to be a step against India. It's just Trump being Trump.
Ambassador, Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir has been promoted to the topmost military rank of Field Marshal. It's an honor given only in the rarest of occasions and or achieving a stellar operations record throughout a career in armed forces. This despite India giving a befitting reply. What sort of messaging do you think the world will perceive on this, especially when most of the world knows that it's army that runs the country?
Well, I think it's potentially a disturbing sign. Obviously, internal dissent in Pakistan is repressed. Imran Khan remains in prison, and I ultimately don't think this is in Pakistan's own interest. And this is certainly something I think the U.S. government should press on them, that the continued level of hostility here is just going to impede Pakistan's development, as it has for many years already. But it worries me that it's still another opportunity for the Chinese to take advantage of these developments that gives them additional leverage inside Pakistan as well.
Right. Ambassador, you have also served as the United States ambassador to the United Nations, and we know that India has been ramping efforts for UN listing of TRF, the Resistant Front, which is an elite proxy, a terror outfit that claimed responsibility for Pahalgam terror attack. How significant is this designation of the terror outfit at the UN is according to you for the world?
Well, I think whenever you get the UN to acknowledge anything as a terrorist organization, it's a pretty significant development. So I think India is justified in seeking to do it. And I think it's also part of an educational effort that's important for India. When it takes retaliatory action for a terrorist strike, it's important to get all the facts out in public and show to the world why this is justified, and designating this or other groups for their terrorist activities, I think makes India's case to the world.